kind of the widest funnel and the easiest way to contribute to PublicAI is through that Data Hunter Chrome extension. And when you install the Chrome extension, it allows you to submit data for the different campaigns that we have going on. And then from that point, we have the data hub that you mentioned, and that's where kind of the consensus is coming into play, where people are able to rate each other's data and ensure the quality of it before it gets applied to models. And then we're doing the testing of the application of this data to the models, both in that data hub, which is a website that you can visit, and then also through our Telegram bot, which is just one more touch point, making it easy for people to casually interact with the data and their contributions and seeing how they make an impact.
Summarize, so it seems like Data Hunter is for the people that are actually contributing the underlying data, like let's say the dog photos as an example, that the Data Hub is where people are rating them.
The arena is that place where after the data has been applied and the models are being tested, the arena is where they kind of like stack up against each other, where we're able to test different versions of the model against each other and be sure that all of the data collection and application actually had a positive impact on the client's models.
This of the models, would you say that's the most difficult area you guys face, or is it more the Data Hub or the Data Hunter? Like what has been one of the more challenging aspects to implement?
From our perspective, I think the biggest thing that we're chewing on and improving and actually have a patent out for is the quality aspect of the data. So generally, if you ask people to go gather data, you'll get a ton of it. And generally, if you just want people to test a model, that's also fairly straightforward. You just have them do queries and then they rate how the queries went. But in the middle, to get the quality data isolated and to get some signal out of the noise of all the different submissions of varying quality, that's the hardest part. So that's why we came up with a system like this Web3 pipeline that I was describing, where people actually have to stake and put some some committed intent into their participation, so that we don't get people that are just like randomly joining to click on a bunch of different buttons and hope that they get an airdrop or something like that. We're actually filtering out the people who actually care and understand what quality is and how it fits into the whole bigger picture. And that's the multi-step process.
The core challenge or problem you guys are trying to address in the space, is it that they're to monetize their data because you might send out a task saying like, hey, we need pictures of dogs, and if people actually do take pictures of dogs, they're getting compensated for that? Or how would you describe the main challenge?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're talking about our clients, the people that are paying us for this data, their biggest challenge is that the data that's available on the internet is largely generic, and large language models aren't great at solving specific business problems. So as more businesses are applying AI to their programming and everything else they're doing, they're finding that they don't have the data they need. And we're able to go deep on niches across a large variety of demographics. And that's the problem that we're solving for them, is getting this data that's otherwise like unobtainable. There's some other problems that make that complicated, as far as like the legality of data and equitable compensation of data. This is something that the whole AI industry is struggling with right now, and we believe that we have a really solid answer to those kinds of like open-ended questions that people are talking about right now. Then on the supply side, or like the folks that are actually doing this data work, we want to make sure that it's meaningful for them, that there's a way to contribute to AI that's not scary and weird, but that allows their passions and niche interests to show up in AI in a meaningful way. So of course that does involve compensating them for their contributions, but also to be sure that like AI actually represents their cultures. We recently wrapped up a campaign where the client was working on an AI avatar influencer for Southeast Asia, and they were looking to source a bunch of photos for other influencers and people basically with brown skin from that area. So we're helping the diversity and the deepness of the data and ensuring that it's quality by going to those experts and people that actually know and care about the things that our clients care about.